second reason we're suing Ford. When a manufacturer knows of a danger in its product that can cause harm, then the manufacturer must eliminate the danger. This is a very basic safety concept that is taught to safety people, taught to safety engineers in some of the most basic engineering courses. It can be applied to any manufacturer. That is, when you have a product, you must identify the potential dangers or hazards with the product. When you identify those dangers, then you must design them out if it's possible. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't. But if a manufacturer can design out the danger or harm, they must do that. If they cannot design it out, then they must shield or guard. And I'll explain a little bit about that too. If they can't shield or guard, then they must warn the consumer or user of the product about the hazard or danger.
Now, Lori, go ahead and play clip 4, and that'll be the last one of the opening.
Now, for the 3-year period, 1997 to 1999, Ford sells these cars with 3-point lap shoulder belts in the rear center in the U.S. The Taurus, the Sable, the Lincoln Continental, the Lincoln Town Car, the Ford Contour, the Mercury Mystique, and the Ford Focus. I want to clarify, the Ford Focus was called a 2000 model year, but it was sold in 99. So that was sold in 99 with a 3-point belt in the rear center. Now, from 1997 to 1999, that same 3-year period, Ford installs the 2-point lap belt in all Ford Escorts. In all Ford Escorts. Here's a summary of the list I just told you. Cars with the, and again, the rear center seats, what we're talking about, the 3-point belts and the ones on the left, the 2-point belts and the ones on the right. In that 3-year period, Ford sells hundreds of thousands of Escorts with a 2-point belt in the rear center. Now, I need you to fast forward with me to August 2010. One of those Escorts was a 1999 Ford Escort. And as that 1999 Ford Escort was going down the road, a vehicle pulls out into its path. There's a frontal impact. And in the back of that car, in the back seat in the rear center, is a passenger with the 2-point lap belt. When the impact occurs, the passenger jackknifes violently, just like the Ford safety expert mentioned back almost 50 years ago. And when that passenger jackknifes violently over that lap belt cuts into the passenger's small intestine. It causes 2 holes to be made in the small intestine. It cuts through the large bowel. It eviscerates the muscles and the fat. And you'll see these are not my words. These are medical terminology. The 2-point lap belt goes so far into the person's vital organs, the passenger's vital organs, that it gets back to the spinal cord. And when it gets to the spinal cord, it damages the spinal cord so badly that the passenger is paralyzed from his midsection down. That passenger is Cheval Batts. And here today with us is Mr. Amos Tyndall. Amos, would you stand up? Mr. Tyndall will be Cheval's representative in this case. Cheval's now paraplegic, permanently paralyzed.
So you mean to tell me in all these other vehicles, they made the choice to up the risk from paraplegia to quadriplegia? based upon that defense? That's real interesting.
Yeah, well, that was an argument that they made, that Cheval was lucky that he was only a paraplegic instead of a quadriplegic. It sounds crazy, but I tell you what, Ford made that argument, and they threw everything they could up against the wall to see what would stick.